interested in seeing how Boosted will play this. His build is very campy. He has the Agi to get a strong hook, maybe aiming for a very quick basement hook, and he has Ruin to be able to protect the present and use his birds to snipe. And something we talked about a little earlier is we are seeing Egg for the first time. We have a shotgun artist, and we're already right in Chase Hunter.
Yeah, we were talking about the shotgun artist, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be seeing many of that, considering that he has 4 birds at his disposal. Nevertheless, we still haven't found where or caught sight of this first survivor taking chase. It is going to be Lin, and oh my god, what a first chase we're going to be able to have this guy in it. But we are going to be rotating all the way to this force side using this pallet. We're getting sniped right off the bat here. This is the start if you're boosted. My god, that's a 2-tap on probably one of the greatest survivors in OSL at this current time. My god, it's all gone so wrong so very early. What an amazing start for Boosted and Forsaken. We do see the double all the way over at main. And Booster's going for a basement hook. No, Chief. Okay, if you pay attention to a lot of artist sets, this is almost unsavable for the survivors. It could really go so south, so wrong, so quick, especially with the birds being able to be pressed down into the basement as you're emerging top. So, you know, you get rid of that endurance status effect. Now taking that basement hook here, he's going to be trying to pressure the survivors off the generators. Yes, it's no stack used of our pain resonance, so you know you don't get that regression on the generators there, but you get a very strong hook. I don't think the survivors will opt to play for this. Honestly, they'll just probably sit back and try to get that 3 split going. That's probably their best case scenario at the moment.
No, I 100% agree, Hunter. I think what's really interesting is obviously we did see Ruin departing the trial for this first chase. Akuda was immediately on that, and that is absolutely crucial for our survivors because Ruin is what's so problematic when you have an unsavable hook on Artist. These birds make your survivors have to waste so much time. You got to go to a locker, you got to spend time getting them off, and all that time is time that Ruin is ticking away at these gens. As we continue to get these infects, look at main. It's already about 90%. We unfortunately do see Nia vaulting with life into boosted there, top mid, but he will be able to get the window vault back and not take a tag. We will be sending more birds to our gens as well in the background, but we will obviously see Lin go second as well. Nia now will be playing to prevent a tag boosted is going to commit this as Lin does go second in the background. It will be very interesting to see if he's willing to commit this tag. He probably is calling the bluff that all our survivors are sitting gens, and I just want to mention that tag is insane. We've got Nia's trapped on this RNL. Oh my word, this is a Z-wall. I have not been playing the game. Is it obvious, Hunter? Do we make this pallet? I believe we just do. The greed as well coming in. We will be lasting a little bit longer, being able to make it back to the Z-wall, but to no avail. That is Nia's on the ground. We did in the background as well see Lin get saved. That was also FTP from HHY. Lin will now be in operation. Do not be found for the rest of the match until we can get some gens popping. All in all, considering the position we were in, that gen popping 9 is also incredible for our survivors. Not being able to hook on top of an active gen is huge, but Hunter, all in all, obviously the situation is still pretty dire. Only having a single gen pop, 2 of the gens that we have really high progress had to have been abandoned so far. No pain res used yet either. Look at main. Holy. But I think we've done well to get this save, get Lin FTP'd, and we're able to stealth it. We do also unhook Nia's now. Do you think this is going to end up as a 4K? Because I am a little worried right now, but it is also C-Drag.
Yes, on paper, obviously, this is looking more towards that 4K scenario. But yes, like you had said, it is Sea Dragon, and they can definitely pull back from this, especially if Lin's just not able to be found. And, you know, when you think about his chases as a solo survivor, even if he is found, usually they last between like 1 to 2 generators on average. And I don't want to jinx anything, but he is over at this corner of this on the map and boosted knows that he's going to be placing his birds, and he's going to be finding him momentarily. No, we've evaded the birds somehow. Where did we go? We went all the way into the map over at 3. We do get another generator popped in the background as a result of it, and Boosted needs to stop looking here because we already know that, yeah, Lin has just left this portion of the map entirely, and Boosted now starting to click onto that. He doesn't have access to Eruption, so, you know, kicking that main generator, if he was to get it down in that meantime, wouldn't have taken any regression onto it, regardless. That being said, you know, looking at the build, you do still have access to 4 stacks of Pain Resonance. That is something to aid us if we are heading towards that 4K that we've been looking for, Chief. But regardless, taking the chase back onto Sakuda all the way over at main. This is another fresh hook survivor here. Going to be playing around the main building very nicely, but no window to our avail. We are going to have to use the side of main. And oh wait, we played very nicely to be able to W away from that to delay the tag just a little bit as we would have needed, but just taking that tag on the side of Boosted and going to this generator here all the way over at 12 is going to be interrupted. HHY trying to make as much distance as he possibly can all the way over into 1. He's going to try and unzone himself all the way into 3, and we do have access to the crane pallet here, so, you know, a good, strong area to be taking chase. Birds up once more, not quite connecting with Boosted now. This is all of a sudden turned on its head. You know, you've lost your tunnel out. You're now chasing somebody who's not been hooked yet in the trial. You know, you do have 3 survivors injured, so you can go for a little bit of a snowball effect, but all of a sudden, it's looking like problems for Boosted, considering he's really struggling to get this down. And as we commit all the way into 7, this is where our generators have popped. So, you know, we're going to be playing that bus pallet here, trying to make use of it. But winning the 50 is HHY, and the survivors of Chinese Dragons are just having absolutely incredible chases, and all of a sudden, the game is gone. Good is gone. We only have 3 stages to show for it. We really need to get this down. This is the survivor you want to be chasing in this instance at the very least, you know, to secure those 6 stages that you've really been searching for. And oh my god, yeah, I guess it's really the problem when you're looking at a build like this. You know, it is definitely heavy on the downs, especially when Ruin is gone. You don't really have any perks to be working with throughout the remainder of the trial. You know, no passiveness unless, yeah, you are progressing the game via the hook stages. And honestly, I think they'll just take the outs of the door here, Chief. I can't lie.
No, I agree. I think taking 6 from this scenario, especially considering the start they had, is absolutely incredible, and I don't see why you wouldn't take it unless you fully believe that you can get less from this game. But with a basement hook against the artist, I do think it is a little out of reach. But my oh my, ignore everything I have just said. Zacuda is already lurking. We know that this gate, oh my god, has Boosted just spotted him? I don't know. No, I don't. Yes, we have. That will be a tag on Zacuda. Now, this is where things get a little problematic. We were playing to deny 6, but we might be giving a little bit more if we aren't careful. Although, Niaz is here to play Protect the President with Zacuda, we just need to make sure he isn't hit by a bird. Avoiding that just barely will mean that Zacuda is out the door, but we do see Lin in the background sending it towards the shack. We might just be able to get this in time, but will we be able to get them out of basement is the question. Boosted will be able to body block. The birds have been applied. That will be a trade coming in now. HHY is off the hook. That is Lin already on the ground. We just need to make it. I'm not too sure what exhaust HHY has access to. Nia's here to play Protect the President. Yet again, we take the bird for him. Boosted's not going to be able to get the infection onto HHY just yet. We've made it all the way to Crane. We have the pallet to work around, and we've greeted it, taking all the distance to 2. We know Niaz is still behind us with a bird. No less, Zacuda's here as well with the beam, just in case. It will be interesting to see if we can get them out the door for free. We still have this window on the 12 side of the tower. HHY will take that vault, get caught by a bird. That will be him down. Is Zacuda here with the beam in time? No. That's another hook. We see Niaz running into the map yet again. They're going to play for this once more, maybe even taking a hit if he drags him too far, though I don't know if that will be all too effective with Agi in play. We might even be seeing Niaz sending for the pick. I can't lie, I'm not too sure what the plan is. We are indeed, but will we be able to get him anywhere? I'm not too sure. We take the bird, that will be a tag onto Niaz. I'm sure Zacuda has already gotten the hook onto HHY in the background, but I mean, indeed, we have the shotgun that we talked about. We've dodged it beautifully from Niaz. We will be able to make the window vault at main, but we do need to win it because this door is already open. It's really scary, but life buys us all the distance we need to make sure we can get around it now with the gate and HHY to protect us. That will be the down, and because we took the bird down, that's going to be another on the ground. Zacuda's here with the beam, and we're going to have to just let him go. Lin's opening the other gate. We've really let the situation escape us. That is Zacuda out the door. Actually, not just yet now. Indeed, we have, I believe it's HHY crawling towards the gate. Lin has got the other gate open. We'll be taking the exit. That will be, Nia's actually dropped. I think we're just trying to take the other, I don't know why we're doing this, Hunter. I'm a bit scared. Niaz might wiggle now if we take this hook. And he has tenacity. He's just out. Is he just out? He's just out.
He does wiggle out. I mean, we took Niaz on our shoulder, and then we tried to force out, I do believe, to win the game on the side of Pig. Completely doable. So what will happen here? And yeah, Agi did kind of play a little bit of a part last trial. You did see it get used at the end game more so than anything. You did see, you know, a basement hook happen very early on, but from 5 to basement, you're making that without Agi, regardless of the way that it really impacted our last trial. Hopefully, this trial you won't be seeing it because we have Corrupt Intervention, Wretched Fate, Pain Resonance, and Eruption. So we've swapped out Ruin and obviously Agi because it's banned, and we've gone for different add-ons as well. I do believe that, you know, if we did catch a glimpse there, as we see the survivors making their rotations to the bottom side of the map here, it's I don't know what those add-ons are, but I know they're not what we saw last match. It's not hands, and it's not I can't remember the other one that we had seen. Regardless, going to be taking first chase here over to the 4 side of the map where we do have this pallet gym here. As we are greening it on the side of boosted, we are prepping those birds very nicely in line of sight. That will be an even quicker down than last trial. My god, Pig is primed as we do take this pick here. We're going to go for a Pain Resonance hook or a basement hook. If we go for a basement hook, this is, you know, it's kind of like a trapper like we saw last game, you know, almost unsavable, but boosted did manage to lose his basement hook very you know, in old fashion, unfortunately. So maybe Pig can hold on to this one. We did see someone playing a little bit aggressive in there. Going for a 3 split now, but we only have 1 gen at 25% prog here, Chief.
Yeah, I want to point out this is a bit of an interesting scenario. Obviously, Pig didn't opt to bring Ruin, which Boosted did for the situation of getting a basement hook where your survivors basically want to call your bluff that you're going to sit on it the entire time. They're just going to 3-split. What's so great about Pig's build is that he has Wretched Fate. It really denies that 3-split. It means one of the survivors is working at really low efficiency, and one of those gens is not going to pop, whilst the others are. But Boosted's the obsession. So we've kind of got a bit of a redundant perk right now. It actually is entirely in the survivor's favor for them to leave him on hook for the entirety of the duration that they can. Unfortunately, I think Pig's also aware of this. He's going to get an M2 tag onto Incog, by the way. Lovely face to see. He is now in chase at 11. Pig will be keeping him here on this pallet for as long as possible. We fake the bird pull up and we've sent all the way to the edge. This will just be the down coming in. Boosted is still on the hook, might I add. I'm sure somebody has rotated for it and it will be coming in very, very shortly. My word, there it is indeed. And look at the progress we now have. This is a little bit alarming, Hunter. We obviously have that gen at 3, which is about 50% more. Oh, sorry, Weary even has had to rotate off of his gen to unhook Boosted and is now resetting him. We can go right on back to basement. As soon as we see that reset come through, we know they haven't left. So, definitely not the start you want to have if you are Forsaken Hunter.
No, definitely not. You know, 2 quick downs, all resulting just before a generator has been popped, you know, yet to be seen. We do see Pig here roaming all the way down to 3, placing his birds nicely. He's trying to really catch off that reset there. And we've seen the healthy survivor rotate off. And actually, no, they're both healthy. Never mind, ignore me. We are going to be committing chase here onto our Dwight and Moore over at this 3 side, playing this pallet very nicely. Has given up pallet possession here, so this could result in a tag very quickly. And we are going to be placing our birds, lining them up very nicely on the side of Pig. We do have this really crappy filler here over it too. A whole lot of nothing. No car pallet, unfortunately, as that little filler pallet has taken precedent of that portion of the map. We are going to be going down. This is going to be the 3rd stage of the match. And yeah, still no gen to be popped at the moment. We do see Boosted in the background. I do believe he's working all the way over at 7, so that's going to be, you know, popping anytime soon. Okay, never mind. You know what? I stand corrected. However, Pig has taken this hook all the way over to 12, walking now down to 10. Is going to cut off Boosted, working that generator over at 7. He has pre-left all the way down to the bottom side of the map. You know, he can't really afford to commit that. He's stealthing around the rocks. Actually, it was Incog rotating off the gen. He is injured at the moment. You know, we're sending these birds, getting that killer instinct, playing the mind games around this jungle gym here. That's a nice placement there, and we're going to be able to hit Incog. No, we just get another bit of killer instinct. That's going to be the first generator popping in the background of the trial. We are taking chase all the way down into the little corner filler here over at 7. Tagged with the birds. Does he win the 50s? No, he doesn't. He's going to be going down. That is Incog. 2 stacks of Pain Resonance been used. You know, Incog is one of the survivors where that has been used, so won't have access to that there. You know, Wretched Fate still in the trial, really affecting Boosted as it is lit up in the background. We do see our survivors in the background working these generators here, trying to get the game progressing and pumping. But Pig in such a dominant position, and with 4 stages on the board, I think that, you know, he's pretty safe in meeting his 6-stage win con here, Chief.
Oh, 100%. I think the 6th stage is all but secured already. I mean, it's been a pretty interesting start so far from Pig. He's kind of not had to play for the tunnel out. Obviously, he had that really early basement hook, but he was so willing and able to just play away from it and let the unhook come in for free, knowing that he could get another quick down. And I want to point out the the potential for 2-tap that he has because of the add-on, his green add-on. I'm not too sure what it's called. I believe it's called Untitled Agony. Yeah, it is. Thank you, Mashtaf. What it does is it gives you 15% hindered whenever you're hit by a bird. So if you get injured by a bird and you have to like play distance from a pallet, you're kind of just dead. And we did see that happen all the way at 12. I believe it was onto Incog. He got hit by a bird and then just really couldn't make anything. And if situations like that obviously keep occurring, you know, Pig having really positive chases, he never needed the tunnel out to begin with a win con like this, and we will be seeing yet again the down onto Incog. This will be the tunnel out at 3 if nobody is here for the save. Pig is a little cautious of it, playing. There is somebody here. They didn't get it in time. Of course, it was boosted. No surprises there. Head on, by the way. Bit of an interesting pick. We would normally see him on the SB to be able to enable that playstyle. We know Boosted loves going for those saves, but that is a more. Actually, I do believe we did see that last week and the week before. It was boosted on head on instead of SB. Just once again playing that sort of chase assist style of gameplay. But nevertheless, that is Incog dead at 3. The 3v1 coming in at 3 gens. Pig has 1 hook to go before he gets a win. Weary will unfortunately be trapped at the backside of main with this bird here, and we get to kick the gen for free as well. This will be a tag prevented actually, but the medium vault does mean Pig is able to get the M1 nonetheless. So, look, this has been a really... It's been a set of 2 different stories, really. I think Boosted's performance was nothing of the sort, my word. That's a beautiful snipe, might I add, as well. But I don't think Boosted's performance was anything close to the way Pig is playing this. Obviously, Pig is playing this with the knowledge of what he needed to do to achieve the win con. Unfortunately, Amor is caught out there as well. But Hunter, I don't know. This has been really dominant from Pig. And I don't know how else to summarize it other than I feel like Pig was way more comfortable playing out this set than Boosted probably was tonight.
I mean, when you compare the two, you got to also take a look at the Survivor side as well. I just think that the Survivor side of Forsaken isn't playing this set as well as the Survivor side of Chinese Dragons. I mean, yeah, they both had very quick chases at the very beginning, but I guess, yeah, the difference is with Pig, he's been able to keep up the pressure, and, you know, Boosted kind of struggled in that mid game. You know, didn't so much the late game, but I mean, yeah, just dominance by Pig. We are going to be getting this head on here over at the corner of 1. It is going to be boosted in that locker. You know, we're really trying to get that tunnel out onto a more. We have already reached the win con by half a stage, so, you know, it's all kind of safe and done on the side of Chinese Dragons. Is going to be 1-0 as it currently stands. Going to be taking that Birds tag onto a more. He's going to be pre-dropping the outside of this main pallet here, playing the fakes very nicely. Ultimately doesn't have much to go on. He's just going to be getting hit with those birds, going down out of the match. That's the 3rd generator in the background procking. As you would have heard, it would have been Weary on that over at that bottom side of the map. We do see Booster just working 6 here, but I mean, it's all kind of just falling apart for Team Forsaken. So Pig now going to take ground all the way down into the 2 side of the map. Weary playing very aggro to get all the way down to the top side. He's trying to unzone himself and get himself into a better chasing position, but I mean, ultimately doesn't have much to go on here. He's going to evade the birds, but is not going to be able to evade the M1 as we do take a pick onto him. It is going to be a pain resonance, and Boosted is probably going to have to pre-leave this generator. Now, what does he do? He has to somehow miraculously get this hook if he is to really pull out from this trial, which I don't think he is, because, you know, it's just kind of chopped up for us. You know, the 4K2 is really headed more into that direction. If anything, these survivors would be playing for the last generator, and even then they'd have to have a monumental chase for that to even happen. So, I mean, Scratch Mark's going all the way down into the top side. We know where Boosted's gone. He's going to be tagged with the birds. My God, check this man's PC. He got the walls or something. He's going to be lining up. 3, 2, 1, shotgun. There it is. Boosted's down. Mighty unfortunate stuff for Forsaken, but Pig being able to secure that 4K2, amazing stuff.
I mean, can we just talk about, there was another one on this pallet, Jim, a little earlier where Boosted just got tagged
on the Dark Lord. I don't think... Have I seen Pig play the Dark Lord? I can't remember for the life of me. I've seen him play so many killers, you know, I just shouldn't... Oh, E41, you know, Dark Lord, I'm pretty sure he knows all about this killer. So he's going to be loading in here on the bottom side. He's going to take ground all the way down into the 1 side where obviously adjacent is going to be the survivors spawning. Probably going for a little bit of a 2-2 split here as we do take Hellfire form. We are still trying to find our first chase of the trial as we roam all the way down into 3. You know, Forsaken Survivors playing very stealth-like, playing very passive. I do like this. No aggression here just yet, as we do take into dog form, really trying to sniff them out there. And we do manage to find December, who is just kind of in this tile here over at 4. Is going to be eating a quick tag. Is kind of forced to use the shack here. Is going to be probably pre-dropping the shack pallet, but Hellfire is going to deny that and trying to bait it out. Did very well there, but unfortunately not quite working in his favor. Is going to go down, you know, sub 20 seconds. This is going to be a basement hook here, if I've ever seen one. Pig now is going to probably play very territorial around the bottom side. We do have the survivors in the background, splitting the generators, one each. Boosted and Incog. I don't think that's a double, and I hope that's not a double. We do see a more playing for a fast pull here over in the shack, going down to the basement, and it's not a double. They are rotating off the gen on the side of Incog, who we had seen make his grand return last match. Is going to be playing very patiently, but going to be getting hit at the very end of that Hellfire. My God. Now Pig back in the bat form, straight down. Lapis Lazuli in hand, blocks the window, straight back in that wolf form there. He's going to be playing the basement. Do they make it out? I don't think that they do. And we are going to be hitting December, who had been healed and going down imminently as well. I don't even know if Amor's still down there. He was with the flashlight in hand, wasn't able to do anything. We are going to be taking another hook here in the basement, and I think this is just going to be another Pig dominant performance here, Chief.
Hunter, I'm speechless. Obviously, I wanted to very quickly point out what we saw earlier on Incog getting that tag is we get another onto a more. This is getting really problematic. This could be really ugly. Boost is going to pop a gen, so it won't be a 4K5, but if we were to get that down, I wouldn't be too surprised in saying a 4K4, 4K3 is very, very likely. But nevertheless, back to my point was, oh my god, Boosted is here as well. We're not even going to be able to pop the gen. That is a more on the ground. We know exactly where Boosted is. He's having to send it for this hook. We're just going to take the pickup onto a more. There's the pain res right here. That gen at 2 will not be popping. December is stuck on the hook. Boosted is sending it right now, but I'm all too sure Pig is going to be right back there. He is indeed. We're going to see the exact same scenario play out once again. We have the Hellfire to potentially get a 2-tap. We might not even get the full way out of the basement this time, but December is able to just slip around. We will use Hellfire to get the tag, forcing the Shack pallet to stay. We know that someone is still in the basement. We don't even really care that December is, you know, all the way out holding this check spot on Shack. We're just making sure Boosted doesn't get out for free, but we've decided we don't care about that as much. December is taking all the distance to 6, and we've been caught out entirely by the dog dash. Oh my word. I mean, that's a death at 4 already, Hunter, but sorry, I really want to finish my point about the add-ons that we've seen Pig bring. He's brought sunglasses, which are an add-on I have never seen brought before, but what it does for those who are unaware, just like I was about 5 seconds ago, it gives you an extra pillar at the edge of your Hellfire, so it makes it a little bit longer, and your pull-up speed is 25% faster. So the tag that you saw onto Incog all the way at the right side of main was because of that. There's a little bit of extra distance. Boosted just getting caught out well by the Hellfire. Pig is a sniper with this thing, I swear to god, and that's just Boosted on the ground, forcing the locker, unable to get anything off with that. This is another pain res. I don't know what gen progress we have right now, Hunter. I'm really worried, but the other thing I didn't get to point out earlier was the fact that we have such nice gens top. One of them probably did pop, so gens aren't all that nice anymore, but they're still pretty good. This is really problematic. This Hunter, where do you see this going?
I heard the lorry cough in the back right of my ear, and we've been zoned into one. There's not really much you can do here after vaulting the window. You're just really trying to make as much distance as you can. Doing a little bit of jiggy there isn't going to mean much. Unfortunately, we just go down before the pallet here. You know, with that down and that slug, and we're going to be taking chase all the way back down to where that unhook happens, even though with the fast reset. I do say we're looking like at a 4K3 best here, Chief, if we manage to really pull it back on the side of our survivors as we do slap the pallet into Pig's face. We are going to be double backing back to this bus pallet. Going to be breaking it instantly, so Boosted really has to turn on the jets here, and somehow in the background Amor has to get Incog up and off the floor. We have lost sight of Boosted for just a moment, but he's broken all the way down to the top side. No, this is Amor who's gone for the pickup here, so we've lost Boosted entirely. He went all the way down into 5. Back on the floor, down you go, Incog. Amor and Boosted both injured in the trial as if that reset had never happened. You know, it's just kind of undone all their prog. Boosted playing very aggressive, like is going to be caught out here over at 2. Got to try and greed the pallet, trying to bait out the Hellfire. Look at Pig get flicky, my god. And, you know, he's going to be slugging Amor on the floor here. And after the pickup onto Incog, Incog just has a whole lot of nothing to run onto. You know, this game's kind of chopped up to the 4K1. Pig going for some flashy flicks here, maybe something for the Twitter, maybe something for the YouTube. Maybe we could see ourselves in like a montage of some sort. The mind game's coming in from the short dog here. You know, you're not going to be able to see him over the tires, but we've won every 50 on the side of Incog here. And as he's rotated around the tires, is playing around the Hellfire very nicely. He's really trying to get that pick up onto Boosted, but Pig not giving it to him for anything, for free. No, not nothing. He's going to be going down, unfortunately, though. So, you know, that is going to chop things up to the 4K4. That's a tall win condition for Boosted to 4K5 Chinese Dragons. So, you know, they probably don't want to be thinking about that. It is very late for them, though. They did start the match over at 11 o'clock due to some external factors, and, you know, props to them for doing such. But, it's probably really showing in their gameplay as well, not being able to really put on the performance that they would have wanted. Regardless, though, you know, Pig again, it shows why he's just, you know, the best killer, arguably in China and all these regions. You know, you see him around the World Cup, you see what he does on. He's just repertoire is so large. Like he knows so much about so many killers. I think that just chops down to his base game matter. Dark Lord this time around is going to be boosted, and we are seeing some very colorful fits brought into the trial here. My god, you're going to be seeing just momentarily, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not too sure entirely what's going on here, but we are chasing a 4K5 win condition, which means that, you know, we pop our 2 generators on the side of our survivors, and we've won the trial. I mean, it's not a whole lot. All it takes is like one very good chase at the beginning, which they're well and truly capable of. You know, choose your pick. Who do you want to chase? You got Sakuda, Nias, HHY, Lin. I mean, in all honesty, from me, the solution is simple. DC. But no, in all seriousness, we're going to be seeing boosted load here all the way down into the bottom side of the map, is going to be spawning all the way over at 4. Knows the survivors will spawn somewhere around the 10 area, as we do see these scratch marks leading here. And this is the kind of fit that I was talking about a little bit ago. It is going to be our ace player, HHY, and a very prestigious hat is going to be dropping this pallet instantly, playing the 50, getting tagged through it, and kind of zoned all the way down into 9 here. Does have access to this filler pallet with a little bit of a longer rock, but it's going to break line of sight very nicely. Is going to be debating Boosted just a little bit to make there's just enough distance all the way down into corner 8 there. Is going to dodge the dog dashes, and greet the pallet even. Win 150, win 250, throw the pallet even. Make as much distance as you can all the way down to the top side. A premium death location, if you don't mind. Boosted does not want any of that. Is going to be going down to 2, where there is this double on the generator happening. We do see scratch marks leading all the way into 4 around the crane, and this pallet is going to be greeted as we have traversed through the Hellfire form. Is going to be missing that though on the side of Boosted, trying to get flicky with it, and now in the dog form around that tall walls there, the mind game not won, is going to be dropped. This pallet here on the side of Nias, running all the way down into 4, dropping the firecracker. Just getting tagged though, and he's going to be zoned all the way into 5, but it doesn't really matter, as look at that gen progress in the background. That's going to be 1 popping very, very soon. I'm not even too sure if that's just a 2 split. Oh no, that is a double there. Sorry. Oh no, it is a 2 split. My god, okay, we've taken the set entirely. They were just lined up perfectly there. I did think the speed was a little bit off, but regardless, Boosted continuing this chase onto Nias. For what it is worth, we are looking at outs if we are to try and predict what's going to be happening throughout this trial. We are going to be greeting that window too. Nias just making absolute work of a whole lot of nothing. Just this really weak tile. And he's lasted about just 30 seconds at that alone. So kudos to him. He's going to be slapped on his hook here over the way at corner 4. Boosted back into that bat form here to find his next chase of the trial.
He just won everything on that Tile Hunter. That was incredible. I mean, and look, he's already off the hook. They're setting him in for another round. He just wants to go have his fun. They know that he's going to enjoy his chases. We're going to try and make it to the Shack window. Unfortunately, Lapis Lazuli will mean it is blocked. So even if we didn't get body blocked, we will not be making it. We drop Shack pallet. We take the tag with the Hellfire over it. That is our BT gone. We do have distance around Shack now. Never mind. We're actually still inside. We've vaulted the window. We're going back to the pallet. We force the drop. Uh-oh. Problems here. Nia's on the ground yet again. A bit of a funny interaction with the boost, but very well played to catch Nia's out like that. The slow vault was... Oh, no. Oh, I mean...
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it. You feel bad. You feel really bad. And that's insult to injury right there, Nias. You just didn't need to do that, did you? Like, come on now. Come on.
That's just not needed.
Oh, poor guy. He's tried to do it again. He's tried to do it again. We're missing the Hellfire. Nia's taking all the distance off of that back to tile 6. I mean, we're dashing with the dog. We're not able to make it around the corner. That will be a missed dash. We see Sakuda here. Oh, that wasn't Sakuda. That was Nias. I don't know why I thought that was Sakuda. We tried to snipe through the window, but because basement is there, it's not going to go through. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Sakuda's still lurking. He's still here. That's incredible. I mean, and now he's on, no, he was on the Gen 5. Okay, I mean, sorry, I'm just speechless after that. I mean, Nias is just, he's lasted 3 gens. He's gotta probably last a 4th. Yep, there it goes. That's incredible. We know Sakuda's gen's 50 as well. If he lasts all 5, that would be, I mean, that would be absolutely cinema. We're going to make this window vault. We see Lin coming in here to take a hit. We dodge the Hellfire. We will be taking the M1. I'm sure we might even opt to switch to this, knowing that the Fresh might be a bit more valuable than the Tunnel Out at this stage of the game. But no, we're just going to actually lose sight of Nias entirely. That will be him making it back to this pallet. He doesn't get the stun. The ping is involved. We see HHY here for the hit take. But because Nia is on the ground, it will mean nothing. Fortunately, Nias is still a pain res, so we will finally get that onto Sakuda's gen. That gen all the way at 5 will not be popping just yet. But I mean, the game was won already. We knew that the game was already won. This is Sakuda's holding the SB, just able to avoid that dog dash because of it. Yeah, the game was won. So like, well played to Chinese Dragons, but like, I mean, just an incredible display yet again.
Well, what more do you expect? And as we take this chase onto Lin here over at the mid side, we are going to be pre-dropping the dumpster filler, running around it very nicely, winning 150 there, and just evading the Hellfire tag on the side of Boosted. Is going to be trying to utilize those dog dashes, but not quite connecting. That 5 generator in the background, proccing just maybe a second ago. Boosted with Hellfire in hand, missing it again there. The succession rate has just been a little bit off from the big man there. You know, I would definitely understand why. I mean, these guys are just playing absolutely out of their mind. We are going to be running all the way down to where a door has been worked. We're going to be going down near Snow, back on the floor. Is going to be picked up. Yeah, that's going to be our tunnel out secured for 3 stages on a dock set. On a dock set. Funny looking dock. Funny looking dock, but it is going to be dark. It's going to be Dark Lord. Sorry, and yeah, 3 stages on the Dark Lord is just, it's obviously underneath average, but like you have to take into account just the survivors that you're going up against, you know, and it's sorry for the glaze, you know, it has to be said and done.